We are now on page 4. Page 4. All right, a little bit of review. You are going to write down what you think that slope is for that red line. 1, 2, or those 4, what kind of slope they are. Just write down what you think. So it's just a review of Algebra 1. Okay, let's see how much you remember. Isaiah, this one.
Positive.
Good. Positive. Sorry about my P there. Karis, this one. Yes, negative. Jackson, this one. Oh, not x equals 0. It could be something. Well, what is the slope? Let's try Aiden. Oh, no, just the slope. What kind of slope? Yes. 0. And then Lynn, you have the last one. You don't know. Does Jerry know?
Undefined.
Yes, undefined. Okay, so positive is from left to right, it goes up. Negative, from left to right, it goes down. 0 is a flat line, and then undefined is a vertical line. Okay, let's review. Slope. What is slope? How do you define slope? How steep it is? Yeah, it is how steep it is. Do you remember any equations or anything that associates with slope? Ooh, mx plus b is a line. Just the slope part. Josiah? Hold on. Josiah has the... Yes. What's another way of that you remember that your teacher taught you how slope is defined? Rise over run. Okay, rise over run. And then basically it's saying how much is y changing over how much is x changing. So we can say it's change of y over change in x. And that triangle is a Greek letter. And the way you say it is delta. That means change. So how much is it changing? So how much is y changing over how much is x changing? Okay, so let's review. I think you guys did this on our review test, right? At the beginning of the year. So this should be pretty fast. What is the slope? So m is what? M is always slope. Okay, so we're going to say that the first point is x1, y1. And then the second point is x2, y2. Because the first one is always x, the second number is always y. And then we put a 1 there because we're saying it's the first point. And then this 2 means that it's the second point. You can switch the points if you want. Just make sure you keep it to the same order. So you're going to take y2 minus y1. So that is 4 minus 7. Over x2 minus x1. So that is minus 2 minus minus 3. Please be careful with the double negative. Okay, that's going to be minus 3 over 1. So that is negative 3. Good? Easy stuff? Okay, let's have you guys practice with B. All right, so 1 minus 1 over minus 4 minus 3. That is 1 over 0. 0 over negative 7, which is 0. 0 divided by anything is always 0. Next. Slope-intercept form. This is what you guys were talking about. Math.
Yeah. Oh, y equals mx plus b.
Yes, y equals mx plus b. This is my slope-intercept form. Why is it the slope-intercept form? Because it has a slope. Slope is m. It has an intercept, b. Now, what intercept is that?
The y.
Good, the y-intercept. We always say the slope-intercept form. I hope you know why it's called slope-intercept form. This is the y-intercept. What does y-intercept mean? Where the line crosses the y-axis. Good. Where the line crosses the y-axis. It's also when what is 0?
X.
Yes, it's when x is 0. So y-axis, that's when x is 0, because that's where x is 0. Okay, now let's go to x-intercept. X-intercept is what? The point where the line crosses? Yes, x-axis. So then that's when what is 0?
1.
Good, so it's the opposite. All right, let us try a easy question. This is very, very easy. M is 1/5. What does M mean?
Slope.
Good, slope. The M is 1/5 and the y-intercept is 0, -3. You know it's y-intercept because x is 0. Okay, 0, -3. So that means B is -3. They want you to find the equation. Let's put it in y equals mx plus b. So since you have m and you have b, all you have to do is just plug it in. So y is equal to 1/5 x minus 3. Now let's review graphing. Do you still remember how to graph a line? You do. How about everybody else? Yeah? Okay, what do we do to start? Like, where do we have to start besides learn? Aiden? Good, start at the y-axis. What number are we going to plot first? Good, we're going to plot the y-intercept. So that is -3. All right, now we are going to plot other points based on the slope. Remember, slope means rise over run. Okay, so the rise over run is 1/5. That means rise 1, run 5. Okay, and please be careful of the sign. These are both positive, so you're going to go rise 1 in the positive direction, run 5 in the positive direction. Okay, when it's negative, you want to go the opposite. So that means you are going to go up 1 over 5. And we do the swoopies. Swoopies, you swoop over.
That is a very good term.
Yes, if you don't swoop, sometimes you will accidentally do 4 instead of 5. So please be careful. Okay, swoopies, you 1 over 5. And what happens if you want to graph another point? Do the same thing. Swoop up 1 over 5. What if you want to go the other direction? What would you do?
Negative and negative.
Negative and negative. Okay, so opposite. So down 1 over 5. All right, so now I have 4 points. It's easy to grab this one line. So that's it. So that is that line 1/5 x minus 3. Now let's do the opposite. You see a graph, now you have to write an equation. What should you do? If we want y equals mx plus b, what should we do?
Find M.
Find m. Let's find the easy one first. How about b? -2. Okay, b is -2 because it's on the y-axis. How about m? M is a little bit tricky, or it's not.
Use the 2 points.
Use the 2 points. Which one are you going to start with? The left-hand one or the right-hand one?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter, but just be careful with your direction, okay? I always start on the left because then I just kind of keep it consistent. So I start on the one that's on the left. You ask yourself, what's the rise over run? Like, how much do you have to go up and down to get to that point? So how much do you have to rise to get to that point? How much do you have to go up and down in order to be in line with that point? Huh? -2. So you go down 2, right? 1, 2. So then the rise over run, or at least the rise part, is -2. And then what? How much do you have to run over to get to that point? 4. Positive 4. So it's -2 over 4, which is -1/2. So then the equation is y equals -1/2 x minus 2. Okay, if you have not really learned or practiced with rise over run before, please ask questions if you're stuck. Next, write the equation in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Is this equation A in slope-intercept form? No. What do you need to do to change it? Yeah, move the x over and then divide by -4. So kind of like what we did on last chapter, right? We said solving literal equation, meaning like solve in terms of one letter instead of the other letter. That's what you're doing. Okay, so you want to get this equation to be y equals mx plus b. Okay, go ahead and do that. Let me know when you're done. So there are these things that we have in this class that's a kind of epic of your Algebra 2 class. So for example, 2x minus 1 equals 4. And you said divide everything by 2. You got to the point you look like this. What happened?
You didn't divide 1 by 2.
You missed this one, right? Okay, so this is a very, very common mistake of Algebra 2. So something like this. You had, I don't know, 5, and then you want to divide by 2. You end up with this. This is what, so basically you just said cancel. Oh, great, it's gone. That 2 is permanently gone. I don't care about that 5. 5 doesn't need to have a 2. So this is a very, very common mistake of Algebra 2. This is what I call killing a cat. You just killed a kitten. It's very sad. So please don't kill cats. Save the kitten, okay? Please save the kitten. Do not kill cats. If you start killing cats, I will draw cats on your tests and quizzes, and we're going to have like tally of who killed the most cat in this class. So please don't let that be you. Save the kitten. So do not cancel like that. Do not cancel like that. This is bad. Okay, A, the answer is 5/4 x minus 4. Okay, so that means you're going to start at -4 and goes up 5/4. Okay, B. If you like fractions, it's fine. Most people don't like fractions, so that you would multiply everything by 4, which is the least common denominator. That means you're taking 4 and then you're multiplying everything by 4. Oops. Okay, multiplying by 4 means multiplying everything by 4. Ooh, come back, Matt. Okay, so this is going to be -3x plus 2y equals -4. And then from there, it's easy to calculate. Y is equal to 3/2 x minus 2. So you start at -2 and goes up 3/2. Okay, now let's go on and do the harder one. So you are now given 2 points. And you had to find an equation of a line. That means you got to first find the slope and you got to find the intercept. Okay, first find the slope. You know how to find slope. So go ahead and find slope. Okay, Jiwan, what is the slope? Oh, what number did you get?
1/2.
Yeah, 1/2. Okay, 1/2. So now what you're going to do is you need to find b, right? Now I'm going to tell you how I find it through the point slope form, which is actually going to be tomorrow. But do you remember the point slope form? Uh-huh. Yes. Yes. So you can use the point slope form, which is actually the preferred way. So you have your m that you just calculated. The point is just any one of those points. So 2, 5, and 6, 7. Which point do you guys want to use? 2, 5. Okay, the reason being it's smaller number. You want to pick the one that has smaller number. You want to pick the one that doesn't have a negative sign. You want to pick something that's easy to do, not make it hard for yourself. So y minus 5 equals 1/2 times x minus 2. From here, please distribute and simplify into y equals mx plus b. Okay, when you're done with this one, please let me know, and then you can go on to do b and c. Okay, so I would say that all of you are very good, and you can do these things with no problem. The challenge is in your carefulness with the distributing negative signs, adding instead of subtracting, that kind of little stuff. Because if you miss one step, the whole thing is wrong. So please be careful and just don't do much in your head until you're maybe like next week in. Because at this time you haven't done that much math to be in like an automatic mode. So please be careful. B is y equals negative 3x plus 4, and then the last one is y equals minus 4x plus 9.